Hi students, okay, in last video we covered the nuclear reactor and the working principle of nuclear reactor, what are the main parts present in the nuclear reactor and how we can get the sustained controlled chain reaction, and the main parts present in the nuclear reactor, the nuclear fuel required, control rods are required to absorb the neutrons to make that reaction to be continuous controlled one, right? And another one is moderators to make that fast neutrons will become slow neutrons, that is the absorption of energy by that moderators. And next one we can have coolants, the energy produced during that reactions, that energy is absorbed by that coolants, and that coolants will be converted that energy into other forms, correct, that we'll see. And one more part is protecting shield. During these nuclear fusion reactions, the radiations can be produced, though those radiations should not be come out of the reactor. That will be effect for the human beings or any organisms which are living in the world. So to avoid these radiations from the nuclear reactor, we can use huge thickness of concretes or maybe steel walls can be constructed surrounded by that nuclear reactor, right? So that is the construction and working, and that part we discussed in the last video. And now here we can be see where we can be use this energy. So these are energy produced within that nuclear power reactor. Generally we can be called it the power reactor or nuclear reactors or atomic energy. So mainly this atomic energy applications, what are where we can use or where we can be apply. So that we can be see applications of atomic energy. That is nuclear energy or atomic energy, where we can be use these. Based on this, which one it is related to atomic energy, that is related to nuclear power reactors which is producing during the fission reaction, right? So in that the first one is generation of electrical power. The first one is generation of electrical power. Generation of electrical power. So this is one of the major application nowadays, correct? So the consumption of power nowadays everywhere, every industry, everything is the current is required. So the electrical power is very, very essential nowadays for any application, any working of the device, right? So there is a huge requirement, huge consumption of that energy, that is electrical energy, for almost all applications or all devices. They can be works on the principle of or on the energy that is in the form of electrical energy, right? So that is generation of electrical energy or electrical power. So that is the first one. And this atomic energy is also main source of that energy. That much energy we can be make the generation of neutrons during these fission reactions, right? So when you are making that fission reaction, that is a heavily unstable nucleus is converting into stable lighter nuclei. There you can be get a more number of neutrons are produced. So because of that we can be say here this energy production is also, there is a source of neutrons production, right? So it is production, or it is a source of neutrons. Source of neutrons. And third one. So these are atomic energy. It is the working principle of which one it is. Based on which principle we can get that atomic energy. It is the uncontrolled chain reaction, uncontrolled fission reactions. So that means here we can be used this energy for destruction purpose. This is for construction purpose. We can be apply that energy in the form of other forms and converting into this electrical power, right? This is for construction, but destruction, there you can be used as nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. As a nuclear weapons, we can be use this energy, that is atomic energy, like you can be having warfares. You can be observed warfares between the countries can be takes place where across the borders you can be see. So this is nuclear weapon, that is nothing but which one it is? Atom bombs. Atom bombs, that is where you can be observed it is uncontrolled chain reaction, correct? Uncontrolled chain reaction is the principle where you can be observed these atom bombs can be works, and that is used as a nuclear weapon. It is not for construction application purpose, it is destruction purpose. That is we can be having or we can be hold. Correct? Like this you can be maintain this. And this high energy of the high energies which are formed during these fission reactions can be used in different ways. That is to making the tunnels within the rocks, or where you have the huge amount of the rocks where that railway track you want to make. There the energy is huge amount is required. Who will give that energy? That energy is produced by these reactions. That is tunneling to make that railway tracks from any rocks. Right, and also it can be provided to run the energies required for the submarines. So that is where you are required the huge amount of energies. There we can be get that which type of reactions? It is controlled chain reactions can be used. One is mainly we can be go for this electrical power generation. But apart of that, you can also use this energy which is produced during the nuclear fission reactions, controlled chain reactions can be takes place. That energy is making the digging of tunnels or tunneling. So here you can write this one. Tunneling of rocks for railway tracks, and also these driving submarines, etc. There the huge amount of energy required. That amount of energy we can be get by maintaining that fission reactions are controlled chain reactions. We need to maintain that the critical condition is maintained. There you can be get that energy that is manageable, controllable, and applicable to various processes or working that we can be done for our requirements. Right. So these are what we have some of the application part of this atomic energy which is produced during this nuclear fission reactions, right? And here there are two terms are there related to this nuclear reactor, or maybe the controlled chain reaction to be takes place, continuous chain reaction to be takes place. There you required this is a critical mass. There is critical mass. So it is a mass, there is a particular mass of the nuclear fuel, maybe uranium or plutonium, or maybe depends upon which one you are taking. That mass should be minimum amount of the mass is required, below which if you are considered there is no sustained reaction can be take place, right? The minimum, or it is equal or greater than certain amount of the particular mass, then only you can be get the sustained fission reactions by using these nuclear fuels, maybe uranium or plutonium. That amount of the mass is called as a critical mass. Critical mass is the amount of the mass which is equal or greater than that particular mass. Then only we can be get the sustained chain reactions. That is controlled chain reactions, continuously chain reactions you can be observed to be get. That minimum amount of the mass is called as a critical mass. Right? So that amount of the mass which is equal or maybe greater than that mass should be there. Then only you can be get that sustained chain reactions can be observed in the fission reactions. Right? So generally you can be observed this uranium 235. It is observed to be having 56 kg is a critical mass. It is not exact. It will be depends upon the isotope. It will be varies. Right? And also this uranium, not uranium, plutonium 239. Having the critical mass is about it is 10 kg. The critical mass you have to consider, or you have to take this much amount when you are making this atomic energy to be generated in the nuclear fission reactions, right? So this, what is the critical mass? Critical mass is nothing but just it is the amount of the mass, of the nuclear fuel which is equal or greater than that amount, then only the sustained chain reactions can be observed, critical condition can be observed. Then you can be called, that mass is called as a critical mass. So it is not required to be remember this, but just you remember what is the definition for the critical mass. Similarly, you can be having the critical size also. Critical size. Critical size. That means the fuel having the particular size. That means how many number of neutrons which is produced within that and within that substance or that fuel or in that sample, how many neutrons are absorbed, how many neutrons are it will be emitted, it is coming out of that sample. So based on that, that means size is also important. So size of the sample or the nuclear sample or fuel which is used in the nuclear fission reactions also required. So what is that amount it is required? So the critical size is required is let it be R be the radius, R be the size of the sample you taken, right? That is whatever the sample you taken, that is R is the radius. We are taken generally it is in spherical in shape, so that I am taking it is R is the radius of sample, and we are taking here I am taking let R be the radius of sample and N be the number of neutrons produced by the sample within that material. So number of neutrons produced in the sample, within the sample or in the sample, and A is number of neutrons absorbed, absorbed within the substance, and L, let it be, you take L be the number of neutrons which are coming out of or emitted from that substance. So number of neutrons emitted or coming out, of sample. So this is we are taken the consideration related to this radioactive sample. So what is the size is required for the radioactive sample? So for that, just observe here, if you take any condition letter, here I said number of neutrons which are produced by the sample, that is depends upon its radius. So it is how many neutrons are produced, that is depends upon the radius, means depends upon its volume. So volume is made to be depends or changes according to this R value, N value will be changes. That means here N is proportional to volume, but volume is proportional to R cube. Therefore I can write N is proportional to R cube. So therefore I can write here N, number of neutrons which are produced in the sample, is proportional to R cube, or N is equal to some proportionality constant K1 into R cube. Same way I can write this one is absorbed neutrons also proportional to its volume, that is R cube, and A also equal to some other constant is K2 into R cube, and the number of neutrons which are coming out of that sample depends upon its area of cross section. So that area of cross section is you can be observed number of neutrons coming out of the sample is L is proportional to R square. So from this I can write here L is equal to K3 R square. So here K1, K2, K3 are the proportionality constants, right? So now I am considering here if first one K is not K, it is L is, N is number of neutrons produced is less than number of neutrons absorbed within the material plus number of neutrons coming out of that sample. If it is this produced number is more compared to this, then what you can be observed this one, N minus A is less than L. So N minus A upon L is less than 1. That means here N minus A means here absorption is more. When you can get less than 1 here, this A value is greater than N. That means here you can get this value is in numerator is compared to this it will be lesser. So this absorption is more. So if it is absorption is takes place all the neutrons within that sample, is there any neutron is there to make that fission? No, there is no chance of getting the further fission reactions. So because of that, if this one is there, so if N minus A by L is less than 1, if this condition is there, you can be observed is no chain reaction you can be get. Right? So we cannot get chain reaction here because this absorption is more compared to the number of produced neutrons, right? So that is no chain reaction you can be observed. And if you take here number of neutrons which are produced is greater than A plus L, which implies that number of neutrons minus absorption neutrons upon L is greater than 1. So if this is the case, you can get here chain reaction, that is the sustained chain reaction. We can get continuous chain reaction can be observed here. So here continuous chain reaction can be takes place. So this NaL, if you substitute N value is this, A value is this, L value is this, if you substitute here, then what you can be observed here, N is K1 R cube minus K2 R cube upon K3 R square. So when you take K1, K2 is R cube is common here in numerator, this will be I can write here K1 minus K2 upon K3 into R cube by R square greater than 1. Right? Now here this R square is cancelled. So here one of the R is remained. So this total value I am taking as a one more constant in K. So I can write here KR is greater than 1 or R is greater than 1 by K. That means for any radioactive sample, that means we are taking into the nuclear reactor to generate that continuous chain reaction. There you can be having this radius should be how much it is? Greater than 1 by K. So then only you can be observed to be get the nuclear continuous chain reactions can be takes place. So this radius is called as a critical size. So size is here we have said critical size. Critical size is nothing but the amount or the radius or the size of that nuclear fuel which should be having some amount below which there is no continuous chain reactions can be takes place, which is called as a nuclear size. So it will be having some particular amount of the size, that is that depends upon the energies or calculations. But just observe here it should be greater than 1 by K, where K is also a constant which is 1 by K1 minus K2 by K3. So this is also constant that I am representing as a K. So I am writing R is a greater than 1 by K. So this is the equation you can be remember, that is for critical size, right? Critical mass, critical size for any nuclear reactor. To make that continuous fission reactions, we require the minimum amount of mass for the fuel and size of the fuel also you have to consider, right? Now we can be see some problems related to these nuclear power calculations, that is energy calculation or power generation, or how many number of fissions can be takes place per minute or second. So the energy maybe you can be converted into joules or electron volts or maybe in kilowatt hours. So that is we'll see some problems related to this calculation with respect to it is which one related to nuclear reactor, right? Now in this you can be see this problem, one of the problem we have here. Just I will make a note on the board. Calculate the energy released by the fission. So here we have it is a question. So what it is given? Calculate energy released. Calculate energy released. Energy released by fission. Energy released by fission. Fission from 2 grams of uranium-235 in kilowatt hour, given that energy released per fission, given that energy released per fission 200 million electron volts. 200 million electron volts. So this is what it is the question is given. So in this what it is given and what you have to calculate. So here you have to calculate the energy released by this fission of how much mass it is given. 2 grams of that uranium-235 is given. In each fission we are getting this much amount of the energy. That means we have to calculate number of fissions. Number of fissions if you calculated, number of fissions are multiplied with this each fission energy, you will get the total energy, and that energy you can get in joules or maybe electron volts. So that electron volts you have to convert into kilowatt hour. So that you have to calculate. So first you find out the number of fissions. So number of fissions are nothing but it is number of nuclei present in that 2 grams of uranium sample. So in the given radioactive sample, how many number of nuclei are present? So the number of nuclei are nothing but what? Number of atoms. How many atoms are present in this 2 grams of this fuel is given. So that atoms are nothing but every atom has nucleus. So every nucleus can be do the one fission. So one nucleus is not taking the more than one fission. It will be every nucleus will take only one fission. Right? Don't think that nucleus will be take the continuous single nucleus only makes that continuous of fission. No, each nucleus will make only one fission. That is, each atom containing a nucleus, that nucleus makes the fission reaction and produces energy. So ultimately, how to calculate number of atoms present in this 2 grams of fuel? The given fuel is 2 grams, the mass is given. In that 2 grams, how many number of atoms are there? So that number, if you calculate, that number of atoms is nothing but number of nuclei is nothing but number of fissions are taking place. Each fission energy we have. So that number you calculate and multiply the 200 million electron volts, the energy will be comes in million electron volts. You can convert that electron volts into joule, and after converting into joule upon, you have to convert that joule into kilowatt hour, right? So first we will make it a calculation of how many atoms are present in this 2 grams of given sample, right? So first we can calculate the number of atoms present in the given mass of the fuel. So here I am writing the number of atoms present in 2 grams of uranium 235. So how you can be calculated? The number I am writing here, n is equal to, it is very simple, you might be observed in your chemistry. Mass of the sample or mass in grams upon mass number into Avogadro number, Na, Avogadro number. So this will gives you the number of atoms present in the given sample of mass should be, here it is in grams, right? So you can get it is n is equal to mass in grams, how much it is? 2 grams. 2 upon mass number is how much it is? 235. You can write it is 235 into Avogadro number is 6.023 into 10 power 23. So these many number of atoms are present in the 2 grams of this given sample of uranium, right? So now in this many number we got. So these many atoms means these many fissions. So number of fissions are nothing but n only, right? So now you can write each fission is we are getting this much. Then automatically you can write what is the energy produced by this 2 grams of the uranium. So I can write here the energy produced by 2 grams of uranium 235. E is equal to, I can write it is, how much it is? This one, that is n into 200 million electron volts. Now n is, already we have here, that value you put here and find out that energy you can be get in million electron volts, right? So energy is equal to n is how much here? It is 2 upon 235 into 6.023. You can write this one 6.023 is nothing but 6 only. After the decimal point you have the 0. There is no use to write this 2-3 digits not required, but it is as of now I am writing as it is. So into 200 million means 10 power 6 electron volt. Electron volt is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. Now the value of this energy is in joule, right? But we don't want to get that energy in joule. We require in which one it is? We require that energy in kilowatt hour. So convert that joules into kilowatt hour. So what is the relation between the joule and kilowatt hour? So we have 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 power 6 joule, right? So therefore I can write energy is equal to, I can write this one, and upon what you can write this value if you divide it, that is 2 upon 235 into 6 I will write this one, 6 into 10 power 23, 10 power 23 into 200, here 10 power 6 is there, so I will write 10 power 8 into 2, I will write 2 into 10 power 8 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 upon this one, that is 3.6 into 10 power 6. Now this will be gets in kilowatt hour, right? Now this energy will be coming into in the which unit? Kilowatt hour, right? Now you can just make it to be simplify here. First I will getting into the powers here. 10 power 6 is there. Here 10 power 8. Just to see here 8 to 23, 29. That is 8. Here it is 31. 31 here minus 19. Or you bring this one to this side. It is the numerator will be plus. Plus is there minus. Minus already minus is there 25. So 31 minus 25. It will be 6. So 10 power 6 it will become. Right? So it is 2 into 2. Here 6, right? 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 6, 24, and 24 into 16 or 1.6. I am writing here 24 into 1.6 into 10 power 6 upon, here it is 3.6 into 235. It is in kilowatt hour. So if you make the simplification here, this one, you can get it is some 4.54 into 10 power is 4 kilowatt hour. So just to make it simplify, and you can get this answer as here this much. Right? Now it is important one is the calculation part we can be do, but important one is this one, that is the calculation of number of fissions, how many it will takes place, or number of atoms, how many are present in the given sample of fuel. So that is important to calculate. So use this type of questions, they will be asked repeatedly in your exam point of view, right? Okay. Similarly, okay, follow now. They just make it this number of atoms you calculate. Every atom has a nucleus. Every nucleus make one fission. So these many number of fissions are making. So each fission is we are getting the 200 million electron volts. So therefore 200 into number of fissions you can get the total amount of energy produced within that conversion of the 2 grams into the energy. Right? So this is one of the problem. Right? We'll see one more problem like this or one more different type. So mainly these problems will be asked related to the energy calculation or maybe number of fissions per second. So right, so this type of problems only it will be gives you the calculation part, or maybe sometimes it will be asked to find out a percentage, some percentage of mass is converting into energy. What is that energy in maybe in units, kilowatt hour, or maybe million electron volts, or maybe it is in electron volts or joules. So different types of that units it can be asked. And one more question here we have given as here the second one in this. In a nuclear fission, it is given in the question that is here in a nuclear fission, it is given that 0.1 percentage of mass is converted. Mass is converted into energy. Then find the energy released. Energy released by fission of 1 kg mass. It is given 1 kg mass. So this is the question. So in this what it is given? So just it is given as here it is 0.1 percentage of total mass is converted into energy. Right? Not total mass. Total mass is 1 kg. Out of this 1 kg, it is not total mass is converting into energy. Only in that 0.1 percentage only converting into energy. Right? So that you can be calculated here. This is nothing but here it is mass total. But out of which you can be considering only 0.1 percentage by using the Einstein mass energy equation, directly you can be calculated here. How much mass into c square, you'll get the energy in joule, and that you can be converting into million volts also, or maybe converting into kilowatt hour also, right? Depends upon the options you can be converted, but generally you can be having the easy solution for this one is by Einstein's mass energy equivalence. Einstein's mass energy equivalence. So we can write that this one is E is equal to mc square. It is in joules. So the energy is equal to m. M is nothing but how much? 1 kg. But this is not converting total into the energy. Only a part of this. That is how much part? Only 0.1 percentage. That means here this mass is given by 0.1 percentage of 1 kg into c square. So this is in joules, right? So 0.1 percentage of 1 kg, you can write it is 0.1 upon 100 into 1 into c square, that is 3 into 10 power 8 whole square, it is in joules. So E is equal to, this is 0.1 already is there by 100, it will be 10 power minus 3 into 1 into 9 into 10 power 16, it is in joule. You want to convert it into kilowatt hour, just divide it by 3.6 into 10 power 6, now it is in kilowatt hour. Right? So simply calculate this one, bring this one 10 power minus plus 6 also numerator, it will become minus 6, already minus 3 is there, minus 9. So here it is 16, 16 minus 9, it will be 7. So I can write here 9 upon 3.6, you can get this one is E is equal to 9 upon 3.6 into 10 power 7 kilowatt hour. So now I can write this E is equal to, what do you can write here? This is 9, it is a 0.4. So 10 by 4 into 10 power 7 kilowatt hour. Or it is nothing but 2.5 into 10 power 7 kilowatt hour. So this is the energy can be produced by this 1 kg, in which only 0.1 percentage of mass is converting into energy by that fission. So because of that, we can get this much amount of energy in kilowatt hour. If it is asking in joule, this is the answer to get the joules. That means 3 into 3, 9. Right? 9 into this is a 10 power 16. This is a 10 power minus 3. 16 minus 3, 13. So 9 into 10 power 13. That is in joules. 9 into 10 power 13 joules. The answer may be this one in joule, or maybe this one it is in kilowatt hour. And also you can be convert this joule into what? Electron volts also. Divide this one by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Then you can get the electron volt also. So it depends upon the options. You have to convert this energy into the required options provided in the question. Right? So in this way we can do the calculations. Energy calculations or number of fissions per minute or time period, that also we can be having N by T calculations. Right? So only one remained in this, that is nuclear fusion reactions are there. So that we can be see in the next video.